this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
With no fees or minimums on checking accounts, it's no wonder the Capital One bank guy is so passionate about banking with Capital One. If he were here, he wouldn't just tell you about no fees or minimums. He'd also talk about how most Capital One cafes are open 7 days a week to assist with your banking needs. Yep, even on weekends. It's pretty much all he talks about, in a good way. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank. Capital One, N.A., member FDIC.
In Orlando, meetings reach another level thanks to a growing list of award-winning restaurants, a world-class convention center, a great hotel community, easy access through the airport, and of course, the weather. Andrew Moyes, VP of Fan Expo HQ, had this to say about Orlando. Luxury hotels, Michelin restaurants, easy access through the airport, all of those key things feed into the proper executive experience. And while you may know Orlando for its attractions, industries like healthcare, aerospace, and advanced manufacturing make it a hub for cutting-edge businesses. And that's what makes Orlando unbelievably real. Learn more at orlandoforbusiness.com.
Welcome to Stuff You Should Know from HowStuffWorks.com.
Hey, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Josh Clark. Hi. There's Charles W. Chuck Bryant.
Hi.
And Jerry's over there. Silence. Well, you put us three together, you get stuff you should know. Sorry in advance.
Those three, you just had a disassociative experience.
I did, because I want to be anywhere but where I am right now, which is in a lot of pain.
Are you in pain?
Yes, I just hit my hand with a hammer really hard to get ready for this episode.
Nice.
Right in the middle of the middle knuckle.
You know, one of the very first dumb jokes I made?
Like really, I think I need to go to the hospital. What?
In my very first podcast appearance with you, I said that I was a method podcaster and that I just got through brushing my teeth and drinking orange juice.
Oh, yeah.
And
yep.
You have revived that dumb joke from 37 years ago.
Right. With a hammer.
And here we are.
And here we are, Chuck, talking about pain.
Yeah, you know, I thought this one, for all its kind of sameness and basicness, was way more interesting than I thought once you dig in a little bit more.
Yep. Pain.
How about that?
Yeah, I thought this one was pretty cool, too. We need to do, like, a pain episode.
Just on pain?
Mm-hmm. Just in general.
House of Pain?
Yeah. The TV show and the group.
I didn't know this was a TV show.
Yeah, it's a Tyler Perry show.
Oh, okay. Well, that explains it.
It's about the Paynes and their house.
Yeah, I get it.
I think it's kind of like Mama's Family a little bit. Like
I didn't watch that either.
Same production quality, that kind of stuff. It looks like it's recorded on a stage.
Sure, probably is.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Mama's Family.
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
Well, had you would have known pain.
Which is weird, because I love the Carol Burnett show.
Yeah, this is a pretty far cry from that.
Mama's House?
Mama's Family.
Mama's Family.
Mm-hmm. With Bubba, the grandson. Oh, man, it was bad. It was bad. But anyway, yeah, there's no segue. Let's just get back to pain.
Yes, and not just pain, because, like you said, we're going to do one on that one day, but pain scale specifically, which is R, I should say, because there are many, many of them. Mm-hmm. As this article astutely points out, there really is no physical instrument, although they have tried over the years, that can accurately measure pain. And so doctors rely on a couple of methods, which is, hey, dummy, how much do you hurt?
Hey, you. Stop crying. Tell me how much your pain is.
Or I'm going to look at you and talk to you a bit, and I'm going to make my own assessment because I'm the doctor.
Right. And I'm going to write, like, could brush his hair a little more than he does, too. I'm going to make my own observations about you.
Man, I haven't used a hairbrush since I was probably 13.
I have to once in a while because my hair is kind of longish now. Uh-huh. And when the wind blows, it really turns it into a bird's nest. So
you get out the comb from your pocket?
Yep. I stand in front of the mirror like Marsha Brady right before bed and count off 100 brush strokes.
Yeah, so let's talk about, basically we're talking about self-reporting or observation. Those are the kind of the two methods because it's important. There's a lot that goes into determining how much pain someone's in, from the kind of meds they get to relieve that pain to diagnosis of what the heck's going on.
Well, yeah, the medical community just in the last probably decade or so is really waking up to the fact that it's doing a lousy job, or traditionally has done a lousy job of managing pain. There's a lot of assumption that people are big babies who don't really need medication. They just need to suck it up.
Sure.
There's a lot of problems with med seeking, where people pretend that they have pain that they don't actually have, and because they want the drugs. But then there's also just this idea that managed pain care isn't quite as good as it should be. So part and parcel of that is realizing, like, well, then we need to be able to quantify levels of pain a lot better. And this is the idea that they're waking up to it is fairly new, but the idea that we can't quantify pain is a pretty old one. People figured it out pretty early on that pain is subjective. It's a subjective, horrible, terrible experience. And I actually ran across one definition of pain from a researcher that said pain is whatever the person experiencing it says it is.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. That doesn't really help a doctor who's trying to figure out how much medication to give you, or whether to just go ahead and like put a pillow over your face or something, make you go to sleep.
Yeah, because that's what doctors do.
Well, yeah, it's a last resort, but it's in their toolbox.
And it's become so important that there's a group called the American Pain Society, which is a great band name.
Oh, it really is.
Yeah, right? Mm-hmm. Probably some sort of metal, right?
Or I could see kind of like a sex pop, kinda.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't either.
You just invented a genre.
Yeah.
They're calling it the fifth vital sign, which means that's important.
Kind of like Thrill Kill Cult, or who was the other? Lords of Acid.
I don't know who they are.
What?
Dude, that's your what? You got requested at our San Francisco show to say that. You're so famous for saying that when I haven't heard of something. What?
Well, go listen to those bands and you'll be like, oh, sex pop.
Okay.
But that's more like sex techno. I don't know what sex pop would be.
Doesn't sound like it's up my alley.
Okay.
But I'll give it a shot.
All right.
So, pain, or quantifying pain specifically, was, or pain in general actually, was, like you said, misunderstood for a long time. Mm-hmm. And it took all the way into the 20th century, quite a bit into the 20th century, with doctors still kind of struggling with how much, anesthesia to give, how many meds to give, if you were in pain, if you were having surgery and childbirth. Literally people waking up in surgery and going, oh, well, we didn't give that person enough anesthetic. And we talked about that in our anesthesia episode a little bit.
Oh, man.
There's just a lot of trial and error. I guess that's not enough because someone's screaming on the table in front of me.
Well, plus also, so pain apparently is pretty widespread. I saw that in the U.S. alone, 9 out of 10 people regularly suffer from pain.
Yeah.
At any given time, 25 million people, I guess over the course of a year, suffer acute pain in the U.S. Mm-hmm. Another 50 million suffer chronic pain. Many of those people report suffering chronic pain for 5 years or more.
So sad, yeah.
So the medical community says, we need to do something about this. And it's like you were saying, the American Pain Society, they say that pain is the fifth vital sign.
Yeah.
The fifth beetle.
What was his, Clarence?
Yeah.
That's a great Eddie Murphy skit.
Yeah.
So if we go back in time to the time where they were trying to be a little more objective about it and actually come up with a little more what they thought were like foolproof ways to determine pain measurement. In 1940, there were some researchers, a trio, one James Hardy, one Harold Wolff, and one Helen Goodell of Cornell University.
Those are some 1940s names.
Sure. Harold Wolff.
Yeah. James Hardy.
Yeah. Helen Goodell. All three of them. They actually built a device called a dolorimeter. And what this was basically a 100-watt lamp with a lens that they could focus you know how you do when you're
Burning ants.
yeah, with a magnifying glass.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they were doing, and they were cranking up heat on they got these nurse volunteers apparently, and I think they were all pregnant, which is even a little more sadistic. But what they were trying to do was compare it to their pregnancy pains, their labor pains.
Yeah, and I was like, why would you do that to like women in labor? And then
It
I
was
was
the
like,
1940s.
oh, well, you could predict that's when something was going to happen. It was one of those few instances when you can predict somebody's going to be in pain.
Yeah, I get it. But it was also the 1940s.
Right.
So they didn't care.
Right.
So
they're like, that hurts a lot. They're like, great.
Right. But I guess these were volunteers, so take that for what it's worth.
Sure.
And they were either nurses or wives of doctors, which is even a bit more sadistic. And they would focus this light on the back of their hand and make it hotter and hotter, and said, compare that to the intensity of your labor pains by shrieking, I guess.
Yeah.
And they even made up a unit.
We've reached equilibrium.
They even invented a pain unit called DOLS, D-O-L-S. Mm-hmm. And, it went supposedly 1 to 10, but there was a lady, one of them, Tough Marge, who cranked it all the way up to 10.5, maxing out the machine, and she was still like, nope, I can take it.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Yeah, she was like, oh, it hurts so good.
But
she loved sex pop music.
But there was a problem with the dolorometer, which is in subsequent experience by other doctors, they could not reproduce this, which means it's junk.
Well, not only that, like, I don't understand how it quantifies pain, right? Well, what you're really saying is, compare your labor pains to the amount of heat energy that we're applying to you.
Yeah.
It just didn't translate to me. I didn't understand it. But apparently, it created this new cottage industry for machines that were used to measure objectively pain. And there's some still around today.
Yeah.
But they do slightly different things. Like, there's one that is like a ray gun that's used to see if someone under anesthesia is under deep enough.
Right.
You just sit there and shoot them with it for fun, too.
Yeah.
And if they don't wake up, great.
The fun gun.
Yeah, that's right.
And then in 1945, I guess this was just sort of the decade of trying to perfect these things before they realized they couldn't. Time magazine wrote an article on Dr. Laurent Julius Bela Glutzek.
Great name.
And he had a machine. It didn't use heat, but it put pressure on the shin bone in increasing amounts.
That sounds awful.
It does sound awful.
The shin is like surprisingly sensitive.
Oh yeah. So like, just put a coffee table in any room.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It should be like tougher than leather, like Run DMC, but it's not.
No, it's not. And this one actually, I don't know what the name of it was, but he measured it in grams to quantify it, and was supposedly, and I think this is self-reported by Dr. Bela Glutzek, 97% accurate. But
Right.
Since you've not heard of it, most of you, that probably means that was not true.
Yeah. He thought if he said 98% accurate, people would have been suspicious of his findings.
Yeah, that's right.
So
But
he went with 97.
the funny thing though is, while all this, I wasn't going to call it quackery, because they were trying to legitimately invent something.
Right.
But while at the same time all this is going on, there was a guy named Kenneth Keel who said, why don't we just ask people?
Let's use our brains, people. How about that?
Why don't we just ask folks and tell them like 0, 1, or 2, or 3
Right.
on the scale of, not painful to severely painful. Why don't we just ask them and see what they say? And
Right.
that kind of caught on as the standard.
Well, let's take a break, man, and then we'll get back to when sensible pain scales came into effect.
S-Y-S-K.
You should know.
S-Y-S-K.
You should know. Brian? Josh Clark. Hey, everybody, we're here to talk to you about Wayfair, who believes that spaces should be functional, they should be comfortable, they should be well designed. and they can be well designed by you with their help.
Your updated space should feel more comfortable, inviting, and practical for everyday use. And we're talking about outdoor seating. We're talking about grills. We're talking about major appliances. If you need storage solutions, Wayfair can help you out. Patio lighting, rugs, decor. It is your one-stop shop for home.
Yeah. I mean, it's getting nice out, so it's time to think about living outdoors for the next few months. And Wayfair knows that outdoor furniture, it's heavy, it's intimidating to assemble. So Wayfair has stepped in and said, we're going to handle the hard part so you don't have to.
That's right. You can shop Wayfair Verified, your shortcut to the good stuff. And that means their team of product specialists are going to vet everything by hand using a 10-point inspection, testing things like, quality materials, functionality, and features, and even how long it takes to build that piece of furniture. And the overall experience save time, reduce hassle, and improved convenience.
Patio season is here, and these deals won't last. So head to wayfair.com right now to get your outdoor space ready for way less. That's WAYFAIR.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Hey everybody, I want to talk to you a little bit about Tide Evo because it represents over 10 years of innovation and product development. Tide Evo is a first-of-its-kind technology where tens of thousands of minuscule fibers are spun together to form a 6 times powerful layer packed with scrubbers, brighteners, pre-treaters, and fresheners. And that's going to deliver a breakthrough clean that's so powerful it feels like magic.
Yeah, it is kind of like magic. Tide Evo is revolutionary. A 100% concentrated, waterless laundry tile that's made of compressed microfiber soap layers rather than liquid or powder. And it's not like pods or sheets because it uses 6 layers of detergent fibers to deliver superior cold water cleaning without plastic packaging of any kind. And it provides a mess-free, lightweight solution that dissolves lickety-split. So whenever you run into a laundry challenge, turn to Tide Evo. It's revolutionary. It's magic. Try new Tide Evo. Real laundry magic.
All right, Chuck. So the 40s were full of dingbat ideas. The 60s, well, actually, I guess the guy you mentioned, Dr. Kenneth Keel, he came up with his idea of a pain scale, a subjective self-reported pain scale in the 40s.
Yeah.
But it seems to have really caught on in the 60s.
Yeah, agreed.
And so with a self-reported pain scale, with any kind of self-reported pain scale, it's basically you are asking the patient, how much pain are you in? Mm-hmm. And it's not enough for them to be like, oh, a lot.
Right.
You know, you have to give them, say, like you said, a scale of like 0 to 10 or 0 to 20 or 0 to 100.
Yeah.
Some people, just for fun, have one that goes up 0 to 1,000,000.
Sure.
And everyone chooses 1,000,000. It's crazy.
I always have a difficult time because I have a high threshold for pain.
But that makes sense because pain is subjective.
Yeah. But I have a high threshold for pain, but I also, I want the good pills. You know what I'm
so
saying?
do you wink when you're talking?
No,
you're
but
like, I'm in a tremendous amount of pain, doctor. Please help me.
I usually try to quantify, and this doesn't happen much because I don't often need, or have an injury to where I would need pain pills or something. Mm-hmm. But I always try to quantify it as if I didn't have a high threshold for pain. You know what I'm saying? I'll think of my number and then I'll add a couple so I can get juiced up.
You objectively self-report then, rather than subjectively.
Yeah, which they say is very much wrong.
Sure.
And you should be super honest with your doctor.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, there are addicts who seek this out.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those, but I'm just like, the pain pill makes the pain feel a little bit better, even if I have a high threshold. Doesn't mean I don't want that pain to go away some,
Yeah. Well, the way to get around that, though, is to just, dress up, when you go to the hospital.
Like wear a suit?
To be true. Sure. Tie, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I walk in with my baseball hat and beard and a tie.
Well, see, you would seem med-seeking.
Yeah, I totally would.
It would, at the very least, cross their mind. Whereas if you dressed up and you said...
and shaved.
Sure. They'd be like, what drugs can we give you?
Right.
Just write it down. Write down whatever you want.
Yeah.
And we'll sign it.
I don't know the name of any of them, so.
Fentanyl's a big problem these days.
Is it?
It's making its way into heroin, killing people.
What, taken with heroin?
Yeah, they're using fentanyl to cut heroin. I don't know if they still are anymore, but like the little towns around America were having like, it'd be normal to have 1 or 2 overdoses a year. They were having like a dozen or so.
Oh, man.
All of a sudden, because people were like, it's like heroin and then the highest grade pharmaceutical heroin mixed in. And apparently people didn't have any warning, or else maybe they were told, this will knock your socks off. I think that's what killed Philip Seymour Hoffman, too. I think he might have had fentanyl in his heroin. But it's like what these people are used to, the dose they're used to.
Right.
Normally, with heroin would not be a lethal dose, but with fentanyl mixed in, they're dead.
Wow. That reminds me of the old, the great Kamal Nanjiani joke, which was my intro to him. I heard it on him on This American Life. Mm-hmm. He was talking about a new drug the kids were doing, which was Tylenol PM with heroin. And he was just like, you're already doing heroin.
Right.
It's like, what could that possibly add to your experience?
Yeah.
Very funny joke.
Yeah.
But also sad at the same time.
Aren't the best jokes?
Yeah. A little sad.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes. So with self-reporting pain scales, it sounds, like I said, so basic, like, okay, it's a no-brainer, duh. You ask someone, you've got 0 to whatever, 3 or 10 or 100. Mm-hmm. People say that, and then the doctor knows. But you don't think about, like, children, or, like, in their understanding of pain, or maybe the elderly, and reasons, how they experience pain, or, people that are cognitively impaired, and their understanding of pain. And then you start to think, oh, wait a minute. Well, we need all kinds of pain scales,
right,
and ways of asking people, because not everyone is the same.
And they do have them. Adults specifically are pretty good at rating their pain on a scale using numbers.
Yeah.
They can also use words like, I'm in severe pain or something like that.
Right.
And usually if you're being presented with the pain scale, it's not open-ended. Like, describe your pain in flowery language.
Right.
It's which of these words best describes your pain. Like no pain, moderate, severe, intolerable. The one that gets me is the worst pain imaginable.
Yeah.
That's as bad as it gets. Like, I can't conceive of any pain worse than what I'm in right now. It just runs a chill down my spine thinking that something could happen that could put any of us in that situation where you're experiencing the worst pain imaginable. I just don't think that should be able to happen to a person.
Yeah, and it's weird too. It seems like a lot of times, injuries, like whether it's a cut or a broken bone or something. I've never broken a bone, but I've been cut open a lot of times.
You better knock on wood.
I know. I'm knocking right now. It seems like those injuries are less painful a lot of times than other kinds of injuries. Like, I hear people say, like, yeah, I broke my bone, but it was just sort of numb and it looked awful, but I didn't feel actual pain.
Right.
Whereas like pulled muscles and things like that are the things that really hurt. Or back pain, for God's sake, is the worst.
You know what? I'd like to do a call out to emergency room physicians or nurses or orderlies, anybody who's seen people in a lot of pain, and tell us what is reliably the worst type of injury pain-wise.
I think burns.
Oh yeah, I'll bet burns.
I've heard that that's just, and I've had small burns that it's just that pain that won't stop.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't imagine like working in a burn, the kind of pain those people suffer.
Yeah.
Whew, man. Mm. So talking about children, there's this really great story about the Wong Baker faces, all caps, FACES.
Stands for something.
That's right. For treating kids with discomfort and pain. And it was developed in the early 80s, by two women, Donna Wong, who was Connie Baker I think, first started, with the idea. And Connie Baker was a child life specialist, which I had never heard of, but it's a really cool job where they work in hospitals and they work with children, not in like a nursing capacity, I'd love to hear from someone who does this, but it seems like they kind of work in a more of a social services capacity and helping a kid just deal with being hospitalized. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that's my impression.
Okay. And then Donna Wong, who was a pediatric nurse consultant and apparently an author, well, not apparently an author, very much an author, but apparently just this legend in the nursing industry. And she came to visit in Tulsa where Connie Baker worked, and they got to talking, and she was like, I had this idea where we can do better with trying to determine and get self-reporting out of children, because children don't, sometimes they're pre-verbal or non-verbal, and sometimes they don't get like the numbers or the color charts.
Right.
So we need a better way. And ingeniously, they developed this with children. They started with just blank circles and said, hey, you draw a face that looks like the pain that you're having.
Right, and the kid would draw, and they'd be like, this is terrible. You do a better job than this. What is that? Is that a chimney with smoke coming out of it?
They're like, that. I feel like I'm on fire. So these kids, you look at some of these early drawings, and it's super cute. They've got these crayons, and they put these details like hair and noses and, the typical kids' drawings. And interestingly, some of them drew left to right, some of them right to left. I don't know how to explain that.
Huh.
But I guess maybe kids that hadn't learned to read yet might have done right to left and not understood that that's sort of the opposite of how we learn to read.
Or they grew up in a culture that reads right to left.
I don't think so. I think these were just like, normal, dumb American kids.
Oh, gotcha.
And so these kids actually participated and started drawing these little faces that range from smiling to tears. And they got a little bit of heat for using tears as well as the smiles.
Why?
Well, some researcher said, like, you probably shouldn't use those. But they said, no, every kid drew smiles. So we think it should we think that is really informative to us and them describing how they feel. So let's keep that. They kept the tears, but they told the kids, and they continue to tell kids when they look at this thing, you don't have to have tears necessarily to have to be in the worst pain. Right. Because not everybody cries when they're in pain.
Gotcha. That's why they said you shouldn't have tears on there?
Yeah, I think so.
Not to confuse the kids?
Yeah, exactly.
Huh.
So what they did was then they got a professional artist and basically kind of picked out the most frequently drawn features and had them draw like a professional composite of these faces, and I think they ended up on 6 circles after experimenting with like less or more. And children actually helped develop the faces chart, which is, it's an awesome story.
It is. It's pretty cute.
Yeah.
In a sad way, which makes it a joke. All right, so Chuck, let's take another break, and then we'll come back and talk about some other ways of assessing pain.
S-Y-S-K.
You should know.
S-Y-S-K.
You should know. Brian? Josh Clark.
Hey, everybody. I want to talk to you a little bit about Tide Evo because it represents over 10 years of innovation and product development. Tide Evo is a first-of-its-kind technology where tens of thousands of minuscule fibers are spun together to form a 6 times powerful layer packed with scrubbers, brighteners, pre-treaters, and fresheners. And that's going to deliver a breakthrough clean that's so powerful, it feels like magic.
Yeah, it is kind of like magic. Tide Evo is revolutionary. A 100% concentrated, waterless laundry tile that's made of compressed microfiber soap layers rather than liquid or powder. And it's not like pods or sheets because it uses 6 layers of detergent fibers to deliver superior cold water cleaning without plastic packaging of any kind. And it provides a mess-free, lightweight solution that dissolves lickety-split. So whenever you run into a laundry challenge, turn to Tide Evo. It's revolutionary. It's magic. Try new Tide Evo. Real laundry magic. The springtime thaw is finally here. Flowers are blooming. Days are longer. We're saying yes to more plans and finally getting outside. Running, walking, just moving again. It's the perfect time to upgrade your everyday go-tos with Bombas. Take Bombas sports socks. They're super comfortable and designed with sport-specific tech for running, cycling, yoga, hiking, you name it. I use them to run in, and I can tell you they work beautifully. So head over to bombas.com and use code SYSK for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com, code SYSK at checkout.
So, Chuck, you've got pain scales that use numbers.
Uh-huh.
You've got some that use faces for little kids.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things they have in common is that they exist on a spectrum. So one of them is so advanced that you have on one end no pain and on the other end extreme pain, and an adult or somebody will point to them wherever they are on that scale,
Mm-hmm.
and then the doctor has to get out a ruler
Yeah.
and measure it in millimeters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they mark that down, and then one of the benefits of objectively assessing someone's pain, even through self-reporting, is that you can track whether it's getting better or worse by assessing it several times over time.
Right.
Right? But part of the problem with self-reporting pain scales is there can be obfuscation, like we said, like if you're med seeking. The elderly apparently don't like to talk about their pain.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of reasons for that, from shame of like getting older and not feeling well,
Mm-hmm.
to well, like you said, just like they don't want to be a bother a lot of times.
Yeah, I read that they don't like to talk about their pain or whether they're in pain, but they will respond to other words that are virtually the same thing, like sore, ache,
Yeah.
discomfort, and that if you're a good physician, you're going to figure out what word they respond to most, and then just replace pain with that to get them to talk about the type of pain they're in.
They have a little translation chart.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Sore, it's like a 2.
Right.
Achy, say 3.5.
And doc, oi, this is killing me.
That's an 11.
I wonder if there are any pain scales where it's like weather patterns, like, spring day to tornado of pain.
Tornado of Pain. There's another band name.
And oh yeah, that probably is a band.
Mm-hmm.
And then they make them draw that too.
Right. Draw a better tornado.
Oh, I meant to say something too about the faces chart for kids. A lot of times they'll still, even though they have the chart, let kids draw it because they found that kids really enjoyed doing it.
It probably takes their mind off of things.
Yeah, and the kids will like draw it and then take it home and stuff. And yeah, it's kind of cool.
And while they're busy drawing, the doctor sneaks up behind them and injects them with a heavy dose of opioids right into their neck while they're distracted.
And the kids
And then
like,
bam,
happy
so
face.
long pain. Most of those drawings have like a big crayon streak going off the edge of the page.
So, some other reasons that you might need to pull out different charts is maybe someone doesn't speak the language that the doctor speaks.
Right.
Or maybe there's a cultural difference that just makes the scale a little more difficult to grasp or translate.
Or like you said, they could be cognitively challenged.
Sure.
There's a lot of different reasons why a self-reporting scale might not work in a situation. And so in that case, the doctor needs to rely on his or her own observations to come up with a pain assessment. And there's actually, I found this extremely interesting, that regardless of your level of consciousness, if you are conscious and receptive to pain, your body's going to make you react in predictable and, from what I can tell, universal ways.
Yeah.
Right? So no matter where you are in the world, no matter whether you are cognitively challenged or whether you have Alzheimer's or whether you are a nonverbal baby, like there are going to be things that you are going to do when you're in pain. Like, for example, facial expressions tend to change and take on reliable expressions.
Yeah, like if you have back pain and you go to sit down, like they're assessing you before they've even started asking questions. Mm-hmm. So you come into the room and you do you grab the arm of the chair and do the when you sit down. Mm-hmm. That's a big cue to a doctor. Like this person is having trouble sitting and standing. They're in so much back pain.
Yeah, and if someone took a picture of you at that exact moment, you would see that your eyes are drawn shut tightly, your lips are drawn back away from your mouth, and your teeth are clenched down. You're grimacing in pain, and you're doing it involuntarily. So
yeah, these are behavioral cues.
Yeah, there's basically two categories you can put observational pain assessment into: behavioral and physiological. Right?
Yeah.
So on the behavioral hand, you've got facial expressions like grimacing. You've got sounds like moans, grunts, even people just talking about their pain, but not because they're being interviewed, but just being like, this, oh, my back or something like that. My aching back.
Yeah.
They really worked me like a dog today.
And these are super important for all the reasons we talked about, people either not being able to report their pain accurately or, we talked about a couple of reasons like the drug seeking, but like little kids might be afraid of needles and they might think I actually remember doing this. I remember underreporting pain because I was afraid I was going to get a shot if I said I was in too much pain.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe that's why I have a high threshold now. It has something to do with it. But, I used to be really, really needle phobic and am not anymore. Like, I don't love it still, but the needles have gotten so tiny that it's not that big of a deal.
So you were needle phobic, huh?
Oh, when I was a kid, yeah, needles, they were a lot bigger. It wasn't like, obviously it wasn't like the 1800s where they had like a railroad spike.
Right.
But, it's not like today where those little tiny, tiny thin needles, I don't know the gauges, but yeah, when I was growing up, I hated getting shots.
Yeah, I wasn't really big on it either, but I don't know if I'd be needle phobic.
Do you watch the needle go in, or do you look away?
Sometimes. It depends. It
See, I have
depends
to
on
look.
my mood. Oh, really?
Yeah, it depends on your mood.
Yeah, if I'm feeling curious and frisky, yeah, I'll watch it, and I'll be like, ooh, you missed that one. And just try to psych them out.
Yeah, that is kind of bad when they can't find the vein.
Sure, yeah.
For blood drawing.
Right. But yeah, sometimes I'm just like, I'm not into it today. And I'll look away.
The other cool thing too about when you get blood drawn today is they used to, they've just come so far, man. Remember they used to have to, if you had multiple blood tests, you would get stuck like 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
And now they have those awesome little tubes that they can just unscrew.
Yeah.
But I still.
Phlebotomy.
Huh?
Phlebotomy.
Is that what that's called?
Mm-hmm.
It's whoever invented that, Mr. Flobo or Mrs. Flobo, Dr. Flobo.
Phoebe Flobo, MD.
I salute you, because that has really changed things for me. But I still weirdly have this fear of like when they're doing that and unscrewing it, I have this fear that they're going to knock the needle and it's going to kind of like rip out of my arm.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, okay. So is that a common thing maybe?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's so flimsy looking, and it's basically being held in by the needle, but there's this big top-heavy tube that's attached to it.
Yeah.
That, is just going to rip it out, and it's going to pull, like, all of your veins and your muscle out right after it, like a bunch of bloody party streamers.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
And I'm slightly phobic still about them not being able to find the vein. So, like, they give you the ball to squeeze. Mm-hmm. I turn that thing into dust.
Oh, yeah.
Because I want, like, and I'm watching them. And they're like, I think I got one here. I'm like, are you sure? I don't see it. Like, I want to see that vein bulging out for them to go in with that needle. Maybe I'm still needle phobic.
It sounds a bit like it. Yeah, I don't think you like the needles.
No, but hats off to the nurses. That's a tough job because there are varying degrees of needle phobia, and I know it's probably never any fun.
Sure. Well, that's good, though. That means your chances of becoming an intravenous drug user are like 0.
Yes, exactly. 0 chance.
So, Chuck, in addition to those behavioral cues, right? Like body language is another one too, where like you've got your arm kind of guarding your broken rib or something like that. Like get back.
Yeah, sure.
Everybody stay back.
Uh-huh.
That's fairly universal from what I understand. There's also physiological changes too. Like, you may become nauseous, or your heartbeat or respiration starts increasing. You sweat. There's a lot of changes that the body undergoes that can be objectively observed.
Right.
With that, where it's like, oh, that guy's sweating like a
Chuck.
Okay. He must be at like a 10 right now, even though he can't talk. Because that's another one too. Like, you may be in so much pain that you can't talk. You can't focus or concentrate on talking, so you certainly can't self-report your pain.
Yeah, or have an injury that keeps you from talking.
Yeah.
Like I almost bit my tongue off when I was a kid.
Oh man.
And I couldn't talk very well.
Yeah. Well, now you talk great.
So much so that I do it for a living.
Sure.
And they're all, like you said, there are so many of these pain scales, and Some of them can get very specific for the kind of person that they're treating. There's one called the CNPI checklist, and this is specifically for cognitively impaired elderly.
Oh, that's specific.
And it's a nonverbal checklist, basically, that doctors can use.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about cognitive impairments. Doctors have to be really skilled and careful there because when they're assessing pain, because if you're assessing behavioral traits and someone has a cognitive impairment, it can be very confusing to assess that because there may be another need not being met, like they might be hungry or overstimulated or thirsty.
Right.
And that's coming out, or anxiety maybe, and that's coming out in the way they're acting. And the doctor has to be able to kind of wade through that to get an accurate reading.
Right. And then, so with these observational scales, in some cases the doctor will just be like, ooh, that guy's really grimacing horribly. So
yeah,
he's probably at like a 10. Other ones actually quantify these different observations, like the CRIES tool.
Yeah.
For infants in pain, which is about as sad a thought as there is.
Yeah.
But it's basically several different observations like that fall into behavioral and physiological tranches, and then the doctor rates each one on, I think, 0 to 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then if the sum total of each category adds up to 4 or more, then it's the baby's in a type of pain that would require some sort of medication.
Yeah, I looked into this one a bit more. CRIES stands for crying, requires oxygen for saturation greater than 95%.
That is a terrible acronym.
I know. I for increased vital signs, E for expression, S for sleepless. A 0 would be a cry that's not high-pitched.
It'd just be like a wah, wah.
Yeah, I guess like a whimpering cry. A 1 would be high-pitched, but the kid is easily consoled. And a 2 would be high-pitched and not inconsolable.
Wow.
The oxygenation, basically, is there a decrease, in O2 at certain levels? Mm-hmm. Number 3, the vital signs, which is heart rate and blood pressure in this case. 0 is unchanged. Increase less than 20% is a 1. Greater than 20% is a 2.
Right.
Expression, no grimace is 0. Just a grimace by itself is a 1. Mm-hmm. And a grimace with a non-crying grunt is a 2.
Ooh, that's not a good one.
Well, because they've already covered crying, so yeah,
right.
A non-crying grunt. And then sleepless, continually sleep 0, awaken frequently 1, and always constantly awake 2.
Man.
And then they total those up like you said.
That is a sad scale.
It is, man. I think I've said before, I used to do PA jobs in LA for this one company who did, they did two hospitals. They did City of Hope Cancer Research, which is where I saw the head in the bucket.
Right.
And then Children's Hospital Los Angeles, CHLA.
Oh, man.
Which was a really rewarding experience, but the toughest job I ever had. Like, the worst stuff you can imagine. And I gotta say, kids are the bravest, best attitudinal. They had the best attitudes, and they were the bravest of any humans I ever saw in the face of the most daunting things. Compared to adults, I was just like, man, adults need to take some lessons from kids.
Yeah.
Because it's amazing, the attitudes these kids had.
Man, that's neat.
It was, and I've also been in the emergency room on the flip side, and seen adults that I think they might be able to get sooner if they wail in pain.
Right. When they're wailing, and then you see them open one eye and look around.
And I hate to say that because maybe they are in that kind of pain and that's just how they express it. But usually when I'm in the emergency room, there's one person that's just like, oh, and I'm like, come on, man. You're
it
just
hurts, I say.
You're just trying to get to the front of the line.
HURTS.
And then I see these kids in the cancer ward that are just smiling and playing. I'm like, it's hard to not be a little cynical about adults and how they handle that stuff.
Yeah, no, it's true. It does seem like you do kind of get wussier as you age.
Yeah.
Up to a point.
Yeah, I agree.
So you got anything else?
No, I mean, there's tons and tons of pain scales that we didn't cover, and they're all basically after the same thing in slightly different ways. So let's just leave it at that.
Okay. Pain scales. Who'd have thought that we would do pain scales before we did one on pain? Well,
Now, when we do one on pain, we can just say, and there are also pain scales, which we've detailed thoroughly.
Yeah, we do that, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, if you want to know more about pain scales, type those words in the search bar at howstuffworks.com. And since I said that, it's time for listener mail.
I'm going to call this just email from a seemingly very nice guy. Or a big phony. Hey guys, been a listener for 3 to 4 years, I think. I've always wanted to write in, but was shy. I thought it was worth mentioning that I listen to about 30 hours of podcasts per week, and you are in my top 2 favorites.
Ooh, this guy's a pro.
Which basically that means we're number 2. Or he would have said we're his favorite.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Which is fine.
I guess.
I kind of want to know what number 1 is, though.
Yeah, I'd like to know as well.
So Scott, follow up on this, please. Second, but related, I'm a master's level board certified behavior analyst, a BCBA, and I am almost finished with my PhD, and I think you might enjoy hearing that you guys actually do a pretty decent job handling psychological concepts where many other podcasts don't. Oftentimes they're too cursory, too credulous, or they oversimplify or something else, and you guys do a great job. And it brings me to my third point. You guys have been on a super hot streak lately. I think the last month contained some of my favorite material to date. I don't know what's going on, but keep it up.
I've been listening for 2 months.
We're on steroids. That's it. And finally, I really loved your episode on pacifism. I actually consider myself on the more extreme end of pacifism. I do not wish harm on anyone under any circumstance. That's nice, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like to believe I would die to protect my enemy to save a life. Wow. He really is on the far end.
Yeah.
He makes Gandhi look like Idi Amin.
Yeah.
Although I've never actually tested this, to be fair. That being said, I also don't think that I could allow someone to come to harm if I could do something about it, although I'd prefer to take their place and then, rather than hurt their attacker. Also similar to what Chuck said about his wife, I cannot stand to see harm come to animals. As John Lennon said, war is over if you want it. You guys are fantastic. I wish you all the best. If you ever have any questions about behavioral psychology, be happy to be as much of a resource as I can be. And that is from Scott Miller of the University of Nebraska.
Go corn dogs.
Corn huskers.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You got to husk the corn before you can make it into a corn dog.
That's true. Unless you're doing it like farmhouse style, in which case you would include the husk into the ultimate cornmeal.
Yes, and you can find those at county fairs.
Thanks a lot, Scott. If you want to get in touch with us like Scott did, you can tweet to us at Josh Clark or SYSK Podcast. You can hang out with us on Facebook.com/Stuff You Should Know or Facebook.com/Charles W. Chuck Bryant. You can send us an email to stuffpodcast@howstuffworks.com. And as always, join us at our home on the web, stuffyoushouldknow.com.
For more on this and thousands of other topics, visit howstuffworks.com.
When it comes to small business, people want to talk to people, not bots, not voicemail. Your customers or clients want a real human connection, and that's exactly what they get with Ruby. Ruby is the virtual receptionist company that takes care of your callers when you're unavailable, in the middle of something, or just don't want to pick up. They can answer, screen, and transfer calls, as well as take messages, collect payments, book appointments, and more. All while saving you time and making the people you serve feel special. It's available 24/7, 365 days a year, and is 100% based in the U.S. See how it works at ruby.com, or better yet, give them a call at 844-900-RUBY.
The next time you end up with something on your shirt, don't turn to your usual detergent. Check out Tide Evo. Tide Evo represents over 10 years of innovation in product development. It's a revolutionary 100% concentrated waterless laundry tile made of compressed microfiber soap layers rather than liquid or powder. It's not pods and it's not sheets. It uses 6 layers of detergent fibers to deliver superior cold water cleaning without plastic packaging. It's mess-free, lightweight, and dissolves quickly. Try new Tide Evo. Real laundry magic.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.